Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Conley if you are new here. I do all different types of videos. I like to do shop with me's. I'm a business owner, so I like to incorporate some entrepreneurship content into my channel. I love to do vlog style videos, and yeah, it's pretty much just a wide range of different stuff over here at my channel. If you are interested in knowing a little bit more about my business and how I like to run things, then I would just go ahead and keep watching this video because that's pretty much what it's going to be all about. I'm going to be answering questions that my customers have asked me or just people in general have asked me. If you enjoy that type of content, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not yet already, and give this video a like. Alright, so I did a post on Instagram asking you guys to ask me questions. So I'm going to start with that, and then I also did a few videos in the past and I had other people just comment down below if they had questions for me, so I'm going to be referring back to my YouTube videos as well to grab questions from those. Okay, so first question, biggest challenge of being a boutique owner. I would say all the behind the scenes stuff that has to do with finances. So taxes, you know, pretty much anything that has to do with the money side of things is where things are a little bit more difficult for me. It is very expensive to run a business that is doing well. It's a lot of money coming in and out in lump sums. I would just say that's my biggest struggle, would be taxes and just making sure all the finances are doing good. Next question, when starting an online boutique from home, should you use your home address or a P.O. box? 100% a P.O. box. If you are just starting out, just to save yourself time and effort later down the road, get a P.O. box. I actually do not have one. People always talk about it though, and they always say like you need to have a P.O. box. I don't, which it's more of a safety thing rather than anything else. I am not really worried about my safety. Number one, 90% of my customers are not here. Actually, no, I would probably say like 98% of my customers are not here in South Carolina. And also, I don't know, I put my life on social media anyways, so it's like I don't think me changing my address is going to make a big deal. But if you're just starting out, I would say just start with getting a P.O. box. I have my house pretty locked down. We have security systems, we have cameras everywhere. So like I said, I'm not really worried about my safety, but if you were just starting out, just start with P.O. box. It'll make it easier for you. How do you pick prices? So this is kind of a tough one. It really depends on the item. If I can buy stuff on sale, so they do like our company, my companies do actually do sales. So if I can get stuff on sale, then I will still mark it up what I would normally mark it up, because usually as long as the quality is good and stuff, then I can charge what I would normally charge for it. I love buying stuff on sale because then obviously I have a bigger margin of profit for me. But if not, a lot of boutiques, I will say a lot of boutiques do 3 times markup. I do not always do that. I'm an under $30 boutique, so I think sometimes you're really getting up there on prices if you mark it up 3 times. So I set myself a limit when it comes to buying, so I have X amount of dollars that I let myself spend, and after that, then if it's too expensive, then I don't bring it into the boutique. So what's the hardest part for you? I kind of already answered that question. If you are comfortable, I'm curious how much profit you make a launch per item. So like I just said, some people mark up 3 times, I don't mark up 3 times. I'm not gonna go too deep into finances and what I actually make, but I will say this was a really great year for me, even with COVID happening. I think actually COVID helped my sales. So overall, this was a great year for me, and obviously it wouldn't have been possible without my customers. So big shout out to all of them. How did you start your boutique? So I started my boutique back in February of 2017 or 18. I don't know. I've been open for almost 3 years. My husband was deploying a lot. He was gone all the time, and I just really felt like I wanted something of my own. I was nannying, and I was doing a bunch of different jobs, honestly. I always worked a lot, especially with my husband being gone, because it kept me busy. So I saw a bunch of like the bigger people do it, like a bunch of YouTubers and stuff were opening up boutiques, and I was like, how do you do this? So I researched it, and I found out that it really wasn't that difficult to do. There were some permits and some certifications and stuff that I needed to get, and then obviously saving money. So I did all that, and I just went for it. There was no one small doing it. I did not know anybody that owned a boutique that was like a small normal person like me. So it was not something that I could go out and like message other boutique owners being like, hey, like how do I do this? Can you like tell me all like the ins and outs? I just really did it myself, and it just kind of turned into this. All right, how much money do you have to put into the business at start before you make money? So I was open for probably about a year before I actually started making money. When it came to making sure taxes were done and everything, I ended up just breaking even that first year, and then the year after that I made a little bit more, and then this year is really my year that like it took off and I was able to financially like support myself and, you know, buy everything that I needed to buy. So how much money you have to put into it? You can pretty much put whatever you want into it. If you only want to put $400 into your first launch, then you only put $400 into it. It's more so like if you want to do a launch and you want to have, you know, 20 different pieces, then of course it's going to cost you more because you need to have that stuff in stock. But if not, if you want to have $200, if you only want to start with 2 or 3 items, you totally can. It's completely up to you what you want to put into it. I will say, of course, you need to have your computer, you need to have a printer, you need to have like your normal basic stuff. But if you have an eye for creativity and, you know, the time for it and the passion for it, you can totally do it and make something out of it. So it's really not a whole lot of money, but like I said, it really depends on what you want to put into it. What are your favorite vendors to use? I have quite a few vendors that I really enjoy. Double Zero is one of my favorites. I will say for jeans, I really love this Cello, I don't even know how to say it. Cello, I don't know how they pronounce it, but I love them for jeans. I like to use, And the Y is a really, really great brand. They're very expensive. They're completely out of my budget since I'm an under $30 boutique, but they do have very high quality stuff. So when I can get it on sale, then I definitely snag it up. And I always let my girls know, like, hey, this is a And the Y shirt. Like, this is probably a $45 shirt, but I'm selling it for $24. So yeah, I have a few of my favorite vendors, but really it's just, searching, you know, really digging into online and figuring out, you know, vendors that you enjoy. Tips on growing your boutique. So number one, I always say be unique, be different. Just because one boutique does it does not mean that you also have to do it. So really stand out and just try to put your personality into it. Try to do things differently. It's definitely hard nowadays because there are so many different boutiques and it's very saturated, but really just try your best to stand out and be unique. And I would also say your photos are going to be another huge factor into your sales. So make sure your photos are good, they're crisp, they're clear, they're bright and airy, and really just try to make sure that you're getting good photos of the items. And I would definitely say style them so that other people can imagine themselves also wearing it as well. How did you start? Where did you get your products? So your products, like I said, once you get your wholesale license and you're certified to shop these places, and you just find them online and stuff. You can also go to vendor events and shows and stuff down. They have them in Atlanta, they have them in LA, they have them in New York City, they have them in pretty much all the big cities, usually quarterly, I would say. I haven't been to one. I would really love to go, but this would have been the year that I did it, but because of COVID, I couldn't. So that's where I get my products from. How did you start? I think I already answered that one. Favorite and worst part about your job? My favorite is my customers being super happy with their items. So I love seeing my customers showing off their items and feeling good about it, especially in today's world where it's so hard to just be confident and be happy with your body and really love fashion. So seeing my customers be confident and enjoy the items that they're wearing is probably my favorite part. I love that. And then also I love being able to work from home. When I started this business, my goal was never to work from home and to be a stay-at-home mom or anything like that. It was just me. I just really loved fashion. That's kind of what I built off of. So I don't even know what the question was. Oh, my favorite part. Yeah, so that would probably be my favorite part. My worst part, again, is taxes. Guys, taxes, you can get yourself into a ton of trouble if you're not careful about it. So just making sure like taxes and finances are all intact, then I would say that. Okay, how long were you busy until you got this many orders? Seems like a lot of volume. I have been open, like I said, for 3 years, and I always did pretty well, but I was never like putting my all into it because I always had other jobs. So it wasn't until this year, so like January, February, where I moved to South Carolina and I quit all my other jobs, and I was like, I really think that I want my boutique to be like my sole main source of income. So that's what I did there, and I put everything into it. COVID hit, so it was a little scary at first. We were kind of all like, uh-oh, like, how are things gonna play out? Like, am I not gonna be able to use this as my job anymore? And it turned out being wonderful. I think in February and March, things really started to pick up for me, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where I wasn't even able to do it by myself any longer or in my home. So that's when I invested in a warehouse, which I have, and then also I hired an employee. So I would say took me almost 2 years to like really get big and like live off of it comfortably. what happened to the camper? I get this question all the time. So my camper, my poor camper, I still have it and I'm still paying monthly for it to be kept at the storage unit. But with COVID happening, I had to kind of put it on the back burner. So like I said, my business started doing really, really well and it totally picked up out of the blue in February. And I kind of put it to the side and COVID started happening, everything started to get canceled, and in my mind, I was like, I'm never going to be able to use this year. I'm not going to be able to use it this year. There's no point in even like putting money towards it and continuing to fix it up. So we actually it's completely at a standstill, and I will be selling it, unfortunately, but we're on to bigger and better things now that I have the warehouse and, you know, my sales are doing great. It doesn't make sense for me to take a weekend off to go out somewhere with the camper, and I don't even know if I'd be able to, because I think I would have to have like a max of like 2 people in the camper. So that was kind of a this year plan, and since everything changed, we will no longer be using it. I could keep it and do it next year, but some people might know, but we are trying for a baby, so I'm sure, hopefully, things will kind of take over differently on that route as well. So I don't know. It's sad because it was my dream for so long, but it's also coming to the point where it's like I'm not really that upset about it because, you know, the business has done great this year, and yeah, so that's what happened to the camper. I have a few more and then I'm going to pretty much wrap it up. So let's see. Also, I apologize for my nails if they're distracting. They're awful, but I'm not going to get them done again, and I can't get these 3 off. Okay, I know you do a Facebook group. What's the difference between a group and a page? So she has a couple questions for me. So I actually do not have a page. I only have a Facebook group, and that's pretty much where I do all my sales. I do a few things here and there on Instagram, but really that's it. My group is where I do literally everything. Like I said, I don't have a page. I've never had a page. I know like everyone has a page. I don't do live, so maybe that's why I don't have a page, but I've just never really felt the need to have one. And yeah, so I would say if you are a boutique owner and you don't have a group, 100% start a group. Like, it's really an environment for women to come together, and it doesn't have to be all about shopping. So that's how I use my group too. Yes, I do my sales off of there, but it's also a group where like a bunch of women are like best friends, and we all hang out and we chat things fashion, and we chat things, you know, everything, honestly. So I would definitely say if you don't have a group, get a group. For pages, I mean, like I said, I'm not really helpful there. I've never had one. So all right, a legal question. If you pay all your state taxes quarterly, do you also pay at the end of the year as well? Yes. So you should be paying quarterly or monthly. I know I paid monthly for a little while, but then they switched me to quarterly. So you should be paying quarterly your state taxes, and then also you're gonna be paying at the end of the year. So, you know, like any other time, like if you work at any other job, you're going to get pay stubs and it's gonna say how much they took out. As a business owner, you have to be taking that money out yourself. So you will get hit pretty hard. If you're doing well, you're gonna get hard at the end of the year. So my husband and I go in like, I don't know, February or whatever, and we sit down, we get our taxes done, and that's where I get hit my hardest. I save 20 to 30% out each launch. So say you make 10K, you want to take like 2.5 to 5K out, just so that you can put that aside for taxes, because you will get hit at the end of the year. And yes, you also have to be paying your quarterly taxes as well to the state. So that is that. Talk to a CPA if you don't have one. You got to be careful about it because you can get into a lot of trouble if you're not careful. So that's that. Can you do a video of why you are not getting any sales? This is going to be my last question for today. I will start wrapping it up after this one. This is a pretty long one. If I have somebody come to me, which I have many times before, and say, hey, I'm not getting a lot of sales, can you like look at my page and like tell me what I need to do differently? And I love that because they're coming to me asking for criticism, which is hard for anyone to take, but I think it's important as a business owner. And like I said before in the past in my other videos, everyone goes through their, you know, learning curves and whatnot, so everyone's gonna make mistakes. But what I say is I go onto your page and I look, number one, at your pictures, and I just, you know, really emphasize, are your pictures well? Do they look good quality? Are you know, trying on the clothes correctly for people to see how it's gonna fit on them? Make sure that's intact. Make sure people are interacting, trying to get some interactive posts in there. Try to find different ones too, because I know, like I said, in groups they're very popular, and just try to find different interactive posts for people to engage in and comment on, because once people are engaging into photos and on posts and stuff in your group, then it will show up on their newsfeed. So I would say make sure those two things, and then make sure that you're also being fun and unique with it. If you need to, go live. I have never gone live in my group. Actually, that's a lie. I did, like when I first started years ago, I went live like twice. I do not believe that lives, you have to do lives to be successful. I think that you can do it during launches like I do. So that's my little tidbit on lives, because I do get that question a lot, as well as, do I have to go live in order to be successful? And my answer is no, you don't, because I'm a proven fact of that. But some people, you know, live off lives and it's the best thing ever for them. So maybe if you're not getting sales, try to go live and see if you can get some girls interacting with you. But yeah, that's pretty much what I would say on there, and just have fun with it too. I mean, if you're struggling and you are radiating that you are having trouble, then it's going to radiate to your girls, and they're going to see that and then be like, I don't know. So that's that. As for lives, like I said, I don't think it's a necessity, but I do plan to go live pretty soon. Actually, I bought all the equipment to start going live. I want to do it, I don't know, probably twice a month or something, just to do like a recap of everything that I have available, maybe do a sale. And now that I'm more comfortable in front of the camera, I want to be able to like show my face to my girls and chat with them and all that kind of stuff. That is a wrap up of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop them down below. Maybe I can do another video or something. And yeah, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.